Blue Ridge Fellows is a ministry for recent college graduates. We invite folks as they're kind of finishing up school and beginning to launch into their career to move to Roanoke to be part of a 9-month-long residential leadership development program. We help fellows find a job in their field of study. We provide a place to live. It includes free room and board. And then we augment around kind of their work schedule with lots and lots of spiritual development. So the fellows are in our home very frequently for lots of time studying the scriptures and figuring out what does it look like to live out your faith in every area of life.
Sure. So our week begins on Monday. We have a seminary day and a professional development day. So in the mornings, we usually have something we call either Faith at Work or Excellence at Work. Faith at Work is where we hear testimonies from different Christian individuals, usually in our church or in the community, who explain to us how they're able to integrate their faith in their vocation. Excellence at Work is a portion that Tim leads that's part committed to professional development. Then in the afternoons, we have our seminary class. We do that in conjunction with Southeastern Baptist Theological Seminary.
It's true.
And another group of men called the Bonhoeffer House guys. They're young pastors studying to plant churches. So together we partner and take a different seminary class each semester. Then Tuesdays, that is the general work day. The fellow will be in their vocational placement during the day. And then that evening we have what tends to be everybody's favorite part, which is the round table. And that is a dinner that two fellows will pair up and prepare and provide a meal. And afterward we have either a theological discussion or a Christian perspective on a current event, or maybe even just a life skills application time. And it's a whole lot of fun. Wednesdays we have our Bible study time. We are studying through the scriptures in a Christocentric way, where we are committed to the belief that every scripture points to Christ in one way or another, and so we systematically go through the different genres of scripture and show how each passage points to Christ. And that's a real fun time too.
It's great.
Thursdays, nothing in the evening. Fridays are generally free. Friday tends to be a flex day. Some of the fellows choose to work that day because we do have so many fellows in the medical profession, and medical folks have kind of crazy schedules. Some of them opt to work on Fridays for their jobs. Others take it as a personal day to do homework or catch up on things, and others use it as time to volunteer in the community through Young Life or Rescue Mission or Roanoke Refugee Partnership. Saturday's the day off, and Sundays we have church in the morning. The fellows go to one of the two services, and they all serve in the Sunday school hour with the youth or the young kids, and then come back later that night to work with the ministry, with the youth ministry or the kids ministry in the evening as well. And then in addition to all that, fellows are encouraged to have a touch point with their host family once during the week. It can be, doing homework for the kids or watching a movie or having dinner together, just whatever's fun. And then also fellows are matched up with a mentor from the church, and they have an appointment with a mentor either once a week or once every other week as well. So it's a pretty full schedule.
So I think the reason the world needs fellows programs, Blue Ridge Fellows and others programs, is because there has been historically a terrible drop-off of the number of people that are walking with Christ in high school and that are still walking with him in college, and then that are walking with him in college and are still walking with him in their young adult and later in life. It's really, the numbers are horrific. Something like 63% of people that are walking with Jesus in college are no longer doing so 5 years later. I think that's the right number. Whatever it is, it's horrific. And so the church has got to figure out how do we help people walk with Jesus in every area of life. If we're teaching people to be Christian students, but we're not teaching them to be Christian professionals, then woe to us. So we're not just helping the 10 fellows every year that get to be part of this program, but we're helping the church learn what do you need to do differently to help people walk with Christ for all of their lives. It's a crucial problem that we absolutely need to solve. Okay, so kind of the underlying philosophy for Blue Ridge Fellows, you can look at it in 5 quick points. Number 1 is we believe that a Christocentric understanding of the scriptures leads to a Christocentric understanding of life. What we mean by that is that I think that the scriptures are radically and fundamentally centered on Christ. A lot of times we approach the Bible and we really think it's about us. It's a moralistic tale about the things I need to do. But if we can move somebody's heart to see that, no, you're not the hero of that story. You're not even the hero of your own story, that Jesus really is. If that can really be kind of received at a deep level, then that leads to a Christocentric understanding of life. And that's going to play out in 4 key areas. Number 1, vocation. It's going to be where you're going to spend the most hours of your day. We want you to understand, what is the fact that Jesus is King of all things? What does that have to do with work? Second thing is relationships, by which we chiefly mean marriage. But there's lots and lots of relationships in our lives that are impacted by the fact that Jesus reigns over all. So work, relationships. Number 3 is church. If you're going to be walking with Christ in 5 years, it's going to be because you're involved in your local church. Not just showing up and sitting on a pew, but you're actually plugging into a body of believers. We want to help you do that. And then finally, in your neighborhood, which is what we mean by that, is that our lives, the gospel came to us on the way to somebody else. So if I'm going to understand the reign and the rule and the beauty of Jesus, it should matter in my neighborhood and the people around me. So a Christocentric understanding of the scriptures leads to a Christocentric understanding of life in vocation, in relationships, in our churches, and in our neighborhoods. That, if we can impart that kind of suite of underlying thoughts about life to the fellows, I think it's going to change the trajectory of your life.
For the seniors out there in college who are fretting and wondering, what on earth am I going to do next year? And they don't have their job lined up and they don't know where they're going and they don't even know if they chose the right major. Come spend a year with us. Take the time to rethink all of that. We will help you find a job in your field of study. We will work our network on your behalf, and we will connect you with someone to mentor you, process life with you. We'll drop you in a group of 9 other friends who are in the same boat as you in life, and we will develop you along the way to love Christ and to experience his love for you.
Indeed.